welcome back. So we have some fun stuff today. Last week, if you'll remember, we did some work with the agility ladder, where we put, I had a ladder and I had you put either tape down or books, something for you to move around in different patterns. So today we're going to do some footwork where we're traveling back and forth across your room, wherever you are. Make sure you have about 8 to 10 feet. But today we're not using the ladder. So we'll start with our warm-up, we'll work on our footwork, and then we'll do a little bit of the resistance work at the stage. And then Wednesday, I want to repeat that footwork. So pay attention today, and if you're not tuning in today, and you start on Wednesday, I'll do a full review on Wednesday. Okay, let's get started. Let's do my favorite and our basic warm-up for the day. We're going to do our multi-directional lunge patterns. So again, follow along. I've done this one before, and of course, if you've worked with me, you've done this more times than you probably want. So we're going to do our 6 points, okay? Just follow along. You don't have to count. We're just going to move. Okay, sagittal plane here. Frontal plane or lateral movement. Keep the heels down, toes straight ahead. And now rotate. Try to turn that toe out a little bit. Turn your head with your spine, with the rest of your body, if you feel safe doing it and comfortable doing it. Okay, if you feel a little dizzy, look straight ahead and just turn out as much as you possibly can. Okay, so again, we're going to go through several rounds of this. Okay, just to get the internal core temperature elevated and then get the joints warmed in multiple directions. Okay, so this is one that you could also do, you could watch a 30-minute program and do a couple of rounds of this for 5 minutes while you're watching. Never hurts to get multi-directional movement. This is what keeps us balanced on walking on ice and a little more sure-footed, gets the joints to stabilize in all these different planes of motion. So this is a great one to do anytime you like. And you don't have to go very deep. Even if you can lunge deeper than what I'm doing right now, don't worry about that. Just get the movement in. We do forward walking all day long. And so it's good to get some variety of the other directions. Okay, let's do 2 more rounds. Last one. Okay, we'll do a little something for the upper body and the trunk. Real simple. Let's do 10 arm circles forward. Okay. Don't strain. Just nice, easy movement. Okay, and we'll do 10 backwards. Okay, now, lastly, you're going to hug yourself. So each time I want you to alternate the arms. Okay, reach back as far as you can. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And finally, let's get some trunk rotation. Okay, so don't just swing your arms and your shoulders, okay? Because otherwise, the trunk of my body and my spine are not going to get the benefit. So actually rotate from your trunk. Turn your head with your body, again, unless you feel dizzy. Otherwise, you can keep it looking on a focal point on the wall or what have you. But get some rotation in. Get that spine warmed up. A few more. And now we're ready to work, so let's get started. All right, so let's start our footwork. It's real important as we get older to start doing a lot of multi-directional movement so that the joints can get stabilized in different planes of movement. And so last week we did the agility ladder. Today, I want you just to find an area of your home where you might have 6 to 8 feet, 10 feet or so of space that you can freely move. So my distance is a little wide today, just so that I can have plenty of room to show you. Whatever your space is, you can just keep moving back and forth. So everything will be consistent, moving back and forth. I'll do 2 of each, because I'll have a bigger distance, and that way the timing works out if you do 2 or 3 or 4. So let's start with just a basic lateral movement. So I'm going to start over here, and you can stay facing the same direction every time. So I'm just going to move to my right, and the focus is not to do it so fast and turn out and try to shift your body in this direction. I want you to stay facing forward perfectly with the toes facing straight ahead for the entire time. So I'm going to start feet together, and I'm going to move. And my goal of this is accuracy and consistency, not trying to really go wide, but just to stay nice and active to get these hips warm. I'm going to come to the end, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to have a slightly neutral knee, okay, so I'm not locked out. So we'll go through these patterns once, and then I'll repeat, okay? So we're moving lateral. Now I want to do what they call grapevines, where I move, and I step behind. I move and I step forward. I move and I step behind. Still going to the right, step forward, back. And this range can be a range for you that is safe. So I don't want you to lose your balance. I don't want you to be unsteady. And something I need to mention when we're working with this type of movement is if you at home use a cane or you use a walker, this all can be done with the walker and a cane, okay? So I want you to feel safe and secure, okay? So let's do this one again. So it's called the grapevine. So I'm just basically weaving in and out, and I'm moving and turning my hips. I'm still getting that active hip. Now I'm going to go the opposite way. So I'm going to lead with my left to the side lateral, step behind, step over, step in the front, step over, step in the back, over, front, over, back, over, front, over, back. Okay, let's go to our third pattern. So now what I want to do is a knee lift. Now, if you can get your knee to 90 degrees, your leg to 90 degrees, that's perfect. If that doesn't feel comfortable, I want you to lift as high as you feel comfortable going. And then when you step, I want you to take a nice big loaded step, okay? Again, it can be done with a walker, it can be done with a cane, it can be done hanging on to a stable surface if you have a counter space that's long and you want to hang on for balance. So it's real important that you feel balanced and you're safe. And then I'm going to bring it straight in front, okay? Load that leg with weight. That's real important. Stay off the toe here when you land. I want that foot to land solid on the floor, okay? Real sure-footed. Here, here. If you can get higher, get as high as you comfortably and safely can. And here, we're going to turn, we're going to go back. So again, if your distance is shorter, then double up what we're doing. And this is something that you can do on your own anytime you want. Okay. Now, another one is we're going to walk backward. Now, if you have a hard time doing this and maintaining your balance, skip this one altogether. And when I'm doing the reverse, just go ahead and do another set of forward of the walking that we just did. So with the reverse gait is what I call it. So if I'm walking forward, I'm going to kind of go heel toe, but I'm rotating my trunk, and that's real important. So if you see me from this angle and I'm walking, I'm going to go opposite arm, opposite leg. So I'm here like that, okay? Now if I reverse that, I'm going to go my toe to heel, but I'm still getting that trunk rotation. So I'm here. I'm going to go toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Now this can be done hanging on to a stable surface as well. But if you don't feel safe doing this, by all means, go forward, okay? So now we're going to do another lateral movement, but I want you to step wider, and I want you to bring this knee a little higher, okay? And then step a little wider, but I want you to really load this leg with weight. If you'll notice, this is very similar to our lateral lunge that we warm up with, okay? So here, lift the knee out and plant the foot and load with weight. So I have more weight distributed to my left side than I do my right side. And then stand up tall, and we're gonna come down each time. Load that leg with some weight. If this is your distance that feels safe, that's totally fine. Don't have to worry about going too wide. But I want you to lift and plant and load. Here. And then we're gonna go to the right side. So we're basically just doing a exaggerated lateral lunge. Okay, so kind of introduce those now. Let's go ahead and put it together in a circuit. So we'll start over here, and we're going to move lateral. Remember, this one is, I want to keep my feet low. I'm not lifting my knee really high with this one. This one is consistency, and I want you to try and keep the toe straight ahead so we keep that hip really active, okay? So I'll shut up now, and we're just going to go through all of them. So let's go lateral. We'll go lateral to the right. And again, if your distance is shorter, just keep coming back and forth. Stay nice and consistent, good, solid, even steps. The whole point of this is to warm up the hip and get the hip active. Okay, we're gonna go back. Toes straight ahead. Don't turn out. Now we're gonna do our grapevine. So just weave it. You can go a lot slower if you need to. Use your cane. You can do it a shorter distance by bringing your walker with you. If you want to hang on to something, you can do it that way. But try to get your hips to turn a little bit. Okay? Now we're going to go forward. We're going to lift that knee, plant it, lift, plant, lift, plant. Again, if you need to use your walker, you can. If you need to use a cane, if you need to use a stable surface, feel safe. But I want you to really plant and load that front leg. All right, we're going to turn. We're going to go back with the same thing. Here, plant it and load it. Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing the reverse gait, go forward again, do just what we did there. If you're going to go backwards, remember it's toe, heel, but you're still getting that trunk rotation. I'm just basically reversing what I do on a daily basis. And I'm over. Let's do it one more time. So toe, heel, got that slight trunk rotation. And there. All right, now, lastly, let's do our knee lift, step, load it with weight. Remember, we're lifting that knee a little higher. We're planting that foot, and we're loading it with a little bit more weight than we did with our first exercise. Here. And then back. last one. Good job. So we're going to repeat this again on Wednesday, and I will introduce it again. And so let's get started with our resistance training. Hi, everybody. Good job on your traveling circuit there. So today we're going to do our Tabatas, so 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. We've done this before, and we did it with just a couple exercises. Today I want to do it with more exercises, get a little bit more variety in with it. So we're going to do several different rounds. So when the buzzer goes off, timer goes off, you're going to be working efficiently and as hard as you can for 20 seconds, be safe. And then when the buzzer goes off again, you'll be resting for 10 seconds. Within that 10 seconds of rest, though, you got to get ready for your next exercise. So 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. And we're going to do this several times. So just stay with me, work hard, work safe. I'll give you little breaks here and there. So we're going to stay with our basics on it. We're going to do squat. And remember, you can do squat hang on to stable surface. You can do it freestanding away from anything if you feel comfortable. Weight is in our heels. I can see my toes. I'm in between my hips and my shoulders, roughly. If you feel a little more comfortable going a little farther out, you can. If you want to sit to a chair every time, or if you want to use a chair as a target just to tap down and come back up, and we've done that one before too. So you have several different options of doing your squats. Also, if you start to fatigue in any one position of a squat, if one is more challenging than another, you start with the more challenging one and you start to fatigue, you can always change to the one that's a little easier. So we're going to go squat, and then we're going to do our basic push-up. Okay, remember our shoulders are depressed. I'm not elevated. Here. Okay. Then we're going to do our swing. So we're going to go 30 seconds this way, 20 seconds, sorry. And then buzzer goes off, you'll rest, and then we'll go 20 seconds this way. And then finally, and remember, you can use dumbbells, you can use bottles of water, you can use cans, or you don't have to use anything at all. We're actually going to do a punch for 20 seconds. So we're going to punch straight out. So my arms are parallel to the floor, okay? If this causes any discomfort in your back from having the weight or the load in the front, you can just shorten up your punches a little bit. So you're not, so the last thing I want you to do is actually lean forward, okay? So we're going to start with our squat, do our push-up, then we have our rotational movement. We're going to do 20 seconds this way, rest for 10, 20 seconds in the opposite direction, and then we will do our punches for 20. Starting with our squat, 20 seconds, and go. And whichever squat you choose, okay, and whatever depth you choose. Just make sure your heels are loaded. You can see the tips of your toes. You don't have to count your reps. I just want you to work efficiently. Okay. Get ready for our push-up. Shoulders down. Remember, you're squeezing something in between your shoulder blades. Okay, grab your can, your bottle, your dumbbell. We're going to move one direction for 20. Remember, it's almost kind of like a golf swing. So you want this in between to come to the level of about your ear, top of your shoulder. Okay, rest. Get ready, we're going the opposite direction. Remember, we want a symmetrical squat, okay? So don't let your shoulders round. Try to stay evenly loaded over your feet, so you're not giving weight to one side. All right? Our punches are next. So remember, if it feels, no strain on the back. So if you need to shorten up your punches, you can. So I'm going to punch straight out. Okay, I'm going to rotate my trunk a little bit here with this. Get the heart rate up a little bit. If this gets too heavy, you can put them down and just use your fists. Okay, right back to the squat. We're going to do 4 rounds. That was 1 round. Go. Okay, whatever squat you feel comfortable with. Okay, good. Our push-up. Shoulders depressed, squeeze something between your shoulder blades.
Rest.
Okay, doing our rotation. So we're moving on a diagonal. And this could be done with just putting your hands over your hand over hand without any weight. Turn your head with your hands, unless you get dizzy, and then try to keep the head forward a little bit. Or if I want to keep my head forward or rotate a little bit less.
Rest.
Our punches, remember, you don't have to extend all the way out. You can keep it shorter. Get the trunk of your body rotating a little bit, your midsection. Okay, 2 rounds down.
Rest.
Round 3, back to our squat.
Work.
Okay.
Rest.
Our push up, shoulders depressed. Don't elevate. You don't have to keep your heels down either. You can stay on the tips of your toes. Okay. Find your stable surface. Good solid push-ups. You don't have to go fast.
Rest.
And let's do our rotation. And rest. And we'll rotate the other way.
Work.
Okay.
Rest.
There are punches. All right.
Rest.
Last round. Back to our squat.
Work.
Keep your chest up when you're coming up. Weight in your heels. See the tips of your toes. All right. Push-ups.
Rest.
Shoulders down. Don't do this.
Work. Rest.
Nice job. 2 more exercises.
Work.
Okay.
Rest.
Now to go the other direction. Okay.
Rest.
And finally, our punches. Last one, work hard.
Rest.
And done.
Stopping session.
Great job today. Great job on the footwork. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.